morning again. Good morning. All right. That was for the news crew. I want to acknowledge Council Vice President Sharon Green Middleton, Chief Niles Ford, and members of the Baltimore City Fire Department. Every day, Chief Ford and members of the Baltimore City Fire Department make conscious efforts to ensure the safety of our communities. And every year, the Fire Department holds Fire Prevention Week to motivate the community to think about fire safety, to highlight the importance of having an effective home escape plan, and to encourage everyone to have working smoke alarms in their home. This year's theme, Not Every Hero Wears a Cape, Plan and Practice Your Escape. Not everyone wears a cape, plan and practice your escape. It not only encourages you to have a home escape plan, but it also encourages you to know at least 2 ways out of your home in the event of a fire. And more importantly, it encourages you to get out of the house and stay out. Fire Prevention Week started this past Sunday, October the 6th, and so far the doors to all fire stations have been open to the community and for information sessions on home escape planning, home safety checklists, how to obtain smoke alarms, station tours, and more. The fire department even spent the day with our partners at Starbucks on Light Street to speak with the customers about fire safety and prevention. I think that was just about getting a cup of coffee. Just joking. I also want to give a big thank you to Leo Montgomery from Starbucks for being a great partner and supporting the Baltimore City Fire Department in this safety initiative. As residents, we may not be the heroes that go into burning homes, but we are all heroes because we are being proactive about making sure our homes, our community is much safer from fires. Never underestimate the risk of having a fire in your home. It's more important than ever to make your home fire safe. I encourage everyone to take advantage of life-saving tools the Baltimore City Fire Department is offering during Fire Prevention Week and any time thereafter. Remember, their doors are open, as they have always been, to help you focus on fire prevention. And on a side note, I just remember as a kid when we had Fire Prevention Week and it was parades. I don't know how many people remember the fire prevention parades. Y'all remember that? And we as kids used to love to see the fire trucks coming through our communities, and we would always go to our fire station. We had a fire station at the corner of Madison and McDonald Street. Anybody remember that? Yeah. Who remember? Yeah. And when they closed our fire station, I just went crazy. And now every time they talk about closing the fire station, I go at it. You're not closing that fire station. Roman, you know that when all the people try to close fire stations, I'm one that said, no, we don't need to close our fire station. And more so now than ever, until we're able to rehab or demolish the vacant houses that we have. So to our fire crews, make sure that when you go into these vacant structures, be safe as you can be, because we don't want you to be a tragedy to these vacant, unkept properties that these owners have left now that the city have acquired through tax sales and all the other things that the city get caught up in because people don't want to take care of their properties. So I want y'all to be safe. Thank you for all that you do. We support you 100%, and we just want you all to know that the most important thing, we want you to be safe, okay? A building can be rebuilt. Lives cannot be rebuilt when you get fatally injured in these fires. So again, thank you. At this time, the council president is not here, so Vice President Sharon Green Middleton will come and have a few words, and she will introduce Chief Ford.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you for choosing this fire station to kick off Fire Prevention Month and Week. And basically, we need to practice fire prevention. It's a year-round daily event. And as I was standing in here, I remembered when we had the unveiling of the changing of the name of a commissioner that was just a wonderful person. And I know we're having some more name changes as we move along for people that have really set a mark in our city within the fire department. But just to do a shout out that this is the time of year to really, again, check your smoke detectors. We have one of the best programs, if not still the only of its kind in the country, of getting smoke detectors and having the fire department work one-on-one with each home. So it's so important. Don't watch with those candles. Make, clutter of extension cords. There's little things that could really start a fire. And just a last shout out for the wonderful work that the EMS crew continues to do in our city. We don't give enough credit to the fire department. They are involved in just about everything that goes on in this city, and we need to continue to thank them as they go and support them as well. I know they have fundraisers and things throughout the city, and our fire department is just so important. So just a shout out for the people out there. It's so important to check your homes. There has been an increase in fires in the city, and we want to try to put a limit to that, and it's going to take all of us working together in our homes and working with our fire department. So thank you. And at this point, I'd like to introduce Chief Ford, as he has some statements to make.
Good morning, everyone. Mr. Mayor, Ms. Councilwoman, fine members of Baltimore City Fire Department, one of the best fire departments in the country. Every day, every week, every year, the fire department is committed to reduce fire injuries and fire deaths. Our goal is zero. We always talk about the fact that we're trying to basically put ourselves out of the fire service business. That's the reason why we have such an aggressive, like Councilwoman Middleton talked about, we have such an aggressive campaign. And we have members of fire prevention in this group standing behind me that literally establish safety programs to make sure that people are safe, try to put code enforcement in place. And then on the backside of that, we literally have people that go door to door to try to install smoke alarms to make sure that you are safe and you have an early alert to get out the house. So our motto is this year is every hero doesn't wear capes. Not every hero, rather, wears capes. Plan, practice your escape. So I'm going to say that again. Not every hero wears a cape. Plan and practice your escape. So what we want to encourage people to do in the community is to establish a fire safety plan. In other words, have an escape plan first of all. Know how you're going to get out the house. Know where you're going to meet at when you get out the house. Also make sure you have a working smoke alarm. Now, we do that. We'll come to you and install it. So no one in the city of Baltimore really has a good excuse not to have a working smoke alarm. If you live in certain structures, and fire prevention will make sure they correct me on this, if you live in certain structures that have so many occupancies, it's up to the landlord to put in smoke alarms that are tied in through the entire system. But if you live in standalone residence, we install smoke alarms on each floor of the house. Each floor of the house. So have a meeting place, know where you're going to be at. And when you get out the house, stay out the house. When you get out, stay out. Don't go back in, because when the house catches on fire, even a house that you've been living in for 30 years becomes extremely unfamiliar in an environment where you can't see what's going on, where it gets up to 600-700 degrees in that structure. There's no way reasonably that you know your way around. And our people are trained to be able to move around in that kind of environment and find people and bring them out. That is their job. So when you get out, we'd like for you to stay out. Now, one of the last things I want to tell you, I'm going to say again, call 311 and we'll have someone out in a couple hours. If you need a smoke alarm, or even they'll test a smoke alarm, and they'll do a safety evaluation of your home, safety assessment, and they'll tell you what they think about your home. But before I step away, I want to let you know that I'm going to kind of echo some of the things the mayor said starting off with. This is your fire department. This is the community. We are community fire stations. We want you to come visit them. We want you to know the people that serve you. We are not the heroes. We're public servants. We're here to protect, and we're blessed to be in that position. We want the community people to be heroes, to take care of their families, to make sure everybody gets out if something happens. So I just noticed that Council President Brandon Scott stepped up, so I'm going to introduce him to say a few words.
Thank you, Chief Ford. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Madam Vice President. I just had to be here today because this is of the utmost importance. We can be a city where we don't have any fire deaths, but it's not just on the men and women of the fire department. We have to work together as a community. We have to have a plan. We have to use the resources. Anyone that doesn't have a smoke alarm, please call the fire department. They will come out. They will put that in. And we have to communicate with our neighbors. Some of the darkest and toughest days of my life as an elected official, unfortunately, I've had to deal with 2 house fires where a lot of children lost their lives. And when you think about that and think about what that means for the community, the trauma that means for their family and the neighbors who were there trying to help the family get out of that house, that doesn't have to happen for anyone in Baltimore City if we have a plan, if we utilize the resources that we have, and we communicate with ourselves and our families. So as we kick off Fire Safety Week, understand that this is about every family, every citizen, every business owner, everyone in Baltimore coming together to make sure that Baltimore is the safest fire city in America. Thank you.
Any questions? Thank you.